Welcome to a new place for dealing with all that sad stuff that happens when you lose someone. This is my friend Jonny.
Hello.
And this is his friend Neil.
All right.
Don't worry, you'll find out all about them and why they've started Keep It Grief very soon. For now, let's join Jonny and Neil where most good conversations start, tucked away in their local pub on a cold February morning.
I like that guy. That's the first time I've heard him. I really like that guy. He's like, can I say he's like Santa? I think we can say that.
He does sound like Santa, yeah.
Also, we need to get him in the pub at some point because I just feel like he'd bring a bit of warmth.
Get him in.
This is weird, mate. Not being in the pub with you, that's not weird. But...
Well, it is. We don't usually go to the pub together, do we?
No, but I'd like to do it more. Well, we are going to do it more.
Oh, yeah.
Every week.
Yeah.
But to say I'm nervous would be an understatement. I don't get nervous.
Jonny Mere?
Yeah, I don't get nervous, but I am a little bit for this. I think because Keep It Grief, proudly sponsored by the Estate Registry, proudly supported by the Estate Registry, is finally here. It's a thing. It's been my baby for so long, the idea about it, and here we are in the pub. And
Yeah, I know, man, yeah.
How do you feel about it?
Bit nervous again, I guess. But yeah, I'm pleased we're doing it.
What's been the reaction when you've told people that this is going to happen?
Positive, yeah.
That's reassuring.
Obviously, but it's more me, to be honest. I've had sort of, like I said to you before, like I've always been a bit not too sure about doing the whole grief podcast thing, just because I don't know really, but it felt right to do this one. So
how do you think this one's going to differ? Not that there's any pressure on me with your answer here, but how do you think this one's going to differ to anything else?
I'm not sure if it will differ, but I'm going to be honest, and that's all
Well, hopefully the honesty is what kind of relates to other people as well. But I guess today we just need to, well, they don't know who we are, do they really?
They don't.
Today we can have a little introduction.
Yeah, I'll tell you what is good about it as well, is a lot of the grief space is quite female orientated. I'm not sure why that is, but it does seem to be
I think
that
it's
way. I'm not
men,
saying there aren't men in it, but
men don't speak really, do they? That's the
I
thing.
do.
You do, yeah, and I do, which is why we're here. But I think, like, generally speaking, men don't express how they feel as much as they...
Yeah, especially on social media, I think a lot of it is very sort of female based. And I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing, but I think it's good to sort of even it out a little bit.
And I think it's no reflection either. Like, what we're talking about doesn't just relate to men, because obviously grief is a thing for everyone.
No. I'm not saying this is a men-only space, but yeah.
Yeah, men only, yeah, no. Definitely not that. But I think it's rare to see two men having a chat about their emotions, and we'll be doing a lot of that.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been okay with that, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll see, won't we?
Well, yeah.
How did we end up here? I think that's where we should start with it.
You asked me and I said, all right.
Yeah, that is literally it. Neil, I've got this idea. You've had someone you've lost. Fancy it? Yeah, all right. That was literally how it went, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But I think we need to tell everyone about kind of why you're here, what your background is. And,
right.
You know, I think you should start because I'm being too much of a worse. I'm Jonny, by the way. Nice to meet you, and you should probably introduce yourself.
I'm Neil. Also
start with the one thing we haven't done yet.
Well, obviously, I'm here. Well, not obviously, but I'm here because I lost someone very special to me, Lottie. She died suddenly in her sleep in April 2023, and my life's been a whirlwind ever since of mad emotions and stuff.
And tell me a little bit about Lottie.
She's just an amazing person, most amazing person I've ever met. That's why I asked her to marry me, but it wasn't to be, unfortunately. So you were engaged and, you know, living together, obviously, and life was just going as normal, and then one day... Oh, as normal as it could be. She did have some illness that meant she was in hospital quite a lot, but yeah, still, we never thought anything like that was going to happen. She went to bed and she didn't wake up. So.
How long ago was that now?
So it'll be coming up to 3 years this April.
In April, I didn't realise it was. So it's coming up
it's a
to
big
around
year,
that time of
and
year.
it's also her 40th birthday this year, so
Oh, mate.
there's a lot of stuff going on.
How do you feel about that? Like, obviously, there's loads going on for you at the moment. It's Valentine's Day coming up.
I feel robbed. that's what I feel like. I feel robbed.
Yeah.
For her life and the life we should have had, you know.
And do you think that anniversaries and stuff are particularly hard for you in the sense that, you know, you've got Valentine's Day coming up, you've got her 40th, you've got what would be 3 years.
You never really know until you get to those days, I don't think. Like,
but are you affected by them? Like, some people aren't bothered by.
well, like I say, some it's a weird one. Like the anniversary of her death, like it's always the day before because that's the last day that she was with me, sort of thing. The day she actually passed, I could just forget about because it's not one I want to remember, really.
It's interesting you say that, actually, because so I lost my mum in the same year, 2023. Betty, she was the life and soul of the party, and it feels very weird, by the way, talking about this now, like in the actual podcast. This is very bizarre, but yeah, we lost her in 2023, and that whole thing about anniversaries and what you've just said there, I get it, because and each to their own, because a lot of people go and they celebrate, which is I just find it a weird thing to say, the anniversary of someone's death.
Yeah, that one for me is a weird day.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's not one you want to remember.
I just want to get through it. I don't, you know.
Yeah, I get that. And for me, I think it's the same. I mean, I think because my mum wasn't so focused on dates, like she wasn't, even Christmas, she'd be like, oh, I can do it any other day, which is a weird thing for Christmas because Christmas is kind of the day you've got to do it. But she was never a big date person. So I think for me, I've never put that importance on a date. But if I was going to remember any date, it would be her birthday, which is coming up to that as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for me, I can understand people celebrating someone's birthday. But, you know, when they do a big thing for the day that they died, I'm kind of like...
Yeah, I find that a bit odd. I do find that a bit odd. I find that difficult. I mean, like you say, the nice days, like birthdays and all of those sort of things, they're to be celebrated. That's how you keep them present. But the day they pass, it's just a day I want to forget.
I just find it really interesting.
I wish that date didn't really exist in the diary, but unfortunately it does.
Yeah, you can't ignore. Do you do anything like, so when April comes, for example, will you do anything in particular to remember Lottie?
Well, I remember her every day, do you know what I mean? I don't, not really. I just, that day, I will probably do what I always do when I've got like a grief spot near where I live, where I just go and sit and cry and look at pictures. I probably will just do that.
Where is it?
It's just on, so I live in Seaford on the beach. I don't live on the beach.
just camped out there, yeah?
Yeah, not far from the beach.
Like a seal.
I go...
Neil the seal. Sorry, that's ridiculous. Yeah, carry on.
I go not religiously, but when she died, I went there every night, sat there and cried like proper sort of, you know, the proper sort of, what's it, hysterical sort of cry.
Yeah. You did wail, like literally.
Yeah, just getting it out. I did that for months.
Did it help?
Yeah, that helped me, yeah.
Not the neighbours, they're like, shut up.
Well, that's the thing, I'm right, where I go, it's on the end of it's called the groin, it's like a pier thing on the end of the beach. It's got benches, it's like got a really nice memorial?
Memorial, yeah, that's the one. Yeah, memorial.
Remembrance sort of benches and stuff. So I go and sit there, non-alcoholic beer, and I just sit there and look at pictures and put some music on and just let it go.
Does music help you? Because for me, like, I think there's something quite therapeutic, and it'd be interesting to see what people think about this. Those places are a really special place to go. It doesn't have to be somewhere that's sad. It can be a place that you had really good memories from.
Yeah.
I think it'd be interesting to see what people think about this. The power of music for me is a big thing.
Oh, massive.
You say about putting songs on. Today on the way up here, a song that I've got a video of my mum dancing to. It's actually Jackie Wilson. Your Love Keeps Lifting Me Higher.
Yeah.
It played when I got to. We're in lovely Wandsworth here. Played when I got to the station. And my eyes just went boom because it came out of nowhere. You know, obviously I didn't just play on my phone. That'd be weird. But I had, you know, my music up and it was on shuffle through thousands of songs, and this song came on. It's a little bit like, "Thanks for doing this. Hello, we're here." And I think music has a real ability to affect your mood, either for the better or the worse.
Music's huge for me, but I like dark, emotional music. I like to be moved.
Yeah.
I don't. If I'm in a contemplative sort of mood, I don't want to be taken out of it. I want to go deeper into it.
Yeah.
That's why I'm a bit different. I like to face things. You know, I like to cry, get it out. I like to really sort of go all in on it.
Which is interesting, isn't it? Because like some people try and shy away from that, and they're like, "No, I don't want to feel this way. I'm gonna go and put on the TV."
That was my apprehension about podcasts and stuff, because I think a lot of them are like that.
Yeah.
I mean, they do touch on the bad stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like to go all in on it, you know.
And what about for you? Like, obviously, you talked about really deep, meaningful music. You work as a wedding videographer.
I know, man. I know.
Out of all the things, mate, and I remember when Lottie passed, I remember having a conversation with you going, so with work and stuff, like, what are you going to do? Because that must be the hardest thing in the world. You've just lost the person that's dearest to you, and you're now having to share, like, people's best day of their lives.
And something she didn't get to do, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, mate. So...
yeah, it's fucking mental. I know. I don't know.
But it is.
I've no idea.
But most people couldn't do that. I couldn't do that.
Well, I didn't know if I could, but I gave one a go. My brother said, he said, well, you just have to give it a go and see. And if you can't do it, you can't do it. But you won't.
So talk me through it though. Was there a point where you just thought, I'm going to pull out, I'm not going to do it?
No. I had a wedding booked in the south of France, which I really, it's what my business has been building up to, you know. And that was sort of 3 months after Lottie passed. So obviously, when she died, I cancelled everything for a couple of months, and then I said, well, if I want to do that one, I need to do a couple before. So I did that, and that was and then I went and I did it, and it was all right, you know. So
what was your kind of feelings? I can't even compare it. Having lost a mum to losing a partner, it's all different grief. But how do you go through that? You
switch off a bit because it's work, right? You're busy, you're doing stuff, and you know I still enjoy shooting weddings. But there are moments, obviously, where you think, "What the fuck is going on?" Like I'll have a bride walking down the aisle to one of Lottie's funeral songs, and it's like, what do you do?
But what did you do?
Well, you just, I don't know, you're in a mad world.
It's almost like what we were saying there about, I was saying about that song plays when we got to Wandsworth. That's almost like a little, well done, you're doing it, I'm here, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? It's like, do you take it as a sign? I
do now. I do, if ever I hear a song that's relevant to me and Lottie at a wedding, I just think it's her just saying hello.
Yeah.
You know, and it's
which is a much nicer way to...
and I kind of always did. Even in the early days, that's how I took it.
It's funny you should say that, because I was away on holiday before obviously we've done this, and it's just a really nice, all happy songs, and they're all instrumental. And it was weird. It was like these typical, like being away in a restaurant. There's like these instrumental songs of like the Beatles or like Queen. It just didn't work. It was this guitar that was going, and it didn't work. But then suddenly we were walking out, and a song that was at my mum's funeral, which is like a real niche song. It's called Spirit Leaders. Yeah. And it's stunning. It's beautiful.
I know the one.
It's stunning. And it was something that I kind of chose last minute. Mum didn't even know the song, I don't think, but it was something that just felt right for me for mum's funeral. Yeah. And I organised the whole thing, and it was just one thing that I really wanted in there. And you never really hear it outside of that sort of that scene. Yeah. But on holiday, sunny Dubai, beautiful, been playing the Queen and the Beatles this whole time, and then suddenly we're leaving and that song came on.
Sign,
in the middle of the restaurant, and I was like, oh my gosh, we'd just been talking about this podcast and how I was nervous and how I hope it reaches people and I hope it makes a difference for people. And for me, I just thought like, that's a little sign.
Yeah.
But do you ever see those kind of signs?
Yeah,
or
all
look
the
for them?
time, every day, yeah.
What?
I don't really look for them, they just sort of happen.
They happen. I feel like if you look for them, you then start questioning, is it forced?
But it happens so much now that I do think, well, I don't know, maybe it is all just... But no, there's something in it, man. There's something in it. Weird stuff's happened that you can't explain.
Go on.
Just like number plates that say stuff on.
Yeah, that's...
Like, I was really upset one day and I can't remember what the number plate said, but it read as sort of cuddle or something. Something like that.
Something you needed.
Yeah, and it's just like, that's just fucking mad, you know.
Yeah.
It could be a coincidence, a huge coincidence. But she used to call me, nicknames and stuff. Bubbles, but I can't remember why.
Because you're so bubbly.
It's not that. I can't remember what it was. But then I saw a number plate with like bub written on it, and it's just like...
Yeah, it's too...
And quite often I see like single bubbles in the sky. I know it's just one of those kids with one of those things, but, still.
I think for me, like those signs are the things that get you through as well. And I think for me, it's those signs that you look for, often then you question if they're fabricated, whereas when they happen, you just get that whole, oh, that's really nice.
I don't really question them anymore. I
also think that the signs that happen, this is for me, I think, and I wasn't going to get into this because I was like, I won't say this because it'll make me sound all hippie and whatever, but actually the whole purpose of this thing is to be honest.
Well, it sends you into a crazy, surreal world. That's what grief does. So.
But I think this is this is what it's about, is that we can be honest here, and because hopefully people will relate to it. And I got back from the holiday,
or not, maybe.
Well, maybe they go, those two are crazy, which is we are. But there is that element that we got back from Dubai, and there'd been this helium balloon that my son loved, but never would let us bin.
Right.
Never. And for months, it's just been on the floor, so sad, deflated.
See, that's weird, because Lottie loves balloons. He loved all the helium balloons.
There you go. Straight there, we've mentioned this. That's mental.
There you go.
But it was just on the floor, completely dead, like just not doing anything. And we're just like, what's the point in keeping this? Like, it doesn't even work. We got back from Dubai.
Yeah.
And we live in the house that I grew up in. So... And for me, it's the best thing in the world because I can just feel my mum.
Right.
I don't go to her grave because I will go there with my dad. He likes going there, but I don't go there because I don't really feel much there.
Yeah.
Being where she lived for my whole life pretty much, and, where there's so many good memories, that's where I feel her. Anyway, we came home and I kid you not, this big red balloon, like almost heart-shaped, which is floating in the middle of the living room. Oh. And not only that, so we both thought that was weird because we're like, that's had no air in it at all. It literally came towards me. And I think Lucy's got it on video. We may have to put it up on the socials or something. It came towards me and then went back again. And we were like, weird. So I stood somewhere and then it came towards me and then floated down to like my shoulder. And it just felt like...
That is weird.
It was really weird. Yeah, it was really weird. And it felt like a hug. Mm. And, to anyone else, they'd be like, oh, was there a door open? There's nothing, there's no drafts. And, there's probably some science behind it.
People don't question it. There's no point. That's the point.
But I do think that what you're doing, going back to like signs and music and just what you do as a job, because we cannot understate how difficult that must be, and also how... There's nothing else like it. If
anyone is looking for a wedding video for
He was mine. I very much recommend him, to be fair. I mean, he's all right. But what you're building there is a legacy. Because I always remember you saying to me...
that's what
that Lottie was really proud of what you did.
She was. That's why I kept doing it. That's she was proud of what I built. So
yeah.
She would have been devastated to think that she was the reason I stopped doing it.
Yeah. So you have to keep going for her. And I think that's...
and a videographer fairly early on, when I told him what had happened, he said, he said, I know it's easy for me to say, but just pour Lottie's love into your films, and that's what I tried to do.
Well, I mean, I can see that when
I think
look
they've
at your
got
Insta.
better, to be honest, since she's
Cheers.
gone.
Mine was pre that happening. I thought it was pretty good.
Redo it if you want.
Yeah, can you? Yeah. I'm not sure Lucy likes me as much anymore. I don't know if we could reinstate that. Oh, that's the bottles being sorted there. But yeah, I just think it's amazing what you do with that. But I do think you've got a point there about carrying on. I mean, my mum, obviously mine was a different situation. My mum had cancer. She had cancer since 2012.
Yeah.
And then in 2020, it spread. So from 2012, there was always that, as anyone will know with a loved one that's had cancer, there's always that fear that it will come back.
Yeah.
But I think for 8 good years, we were able to put that behind us and kind of, she was on medication and stuff, but we were able to live life pretty normally. But in my head, I'm always that sort of guy. It's same as when we're on holiday. I know it's awful for people that are like this, where it's like, oh, we've only got 5 days left. But I was always there thinking it's going to come back. And in 2020, it did. I remember it was all around the time of the pandemic about to unfold, the same week, I think, in fact. Yeah. My dad randomly, he got sepsis after a knee operation. He'd been rushed into hospital one way. I'm going with my mum to the other. It all went really wrong that week. It was and I was working in Marble Arch for a job for Ford, and it all went really wrong. Anyway, that 2020 was a tough year because that's when it came back. And then 3 years later, obviously she passed away. But for those 3 years, I was living with my breath held. Yeah, it was awful.
That's awful.
I think for me, that's where it'd be interesting as this podcast goes on to see how things differ. Like I had a lot of, I think, which I realise now, thanks to you, I had a lot of anticipatory grief.
So that wasn't my. I didn't coin that. But.
No. Oh well, no. Well, I thought you were some psychologist.
No, I met a widow earlier on who'd been through. Well, her husband died of cancer, and the whole anticipatory grief thing is real. Yeah.
And that's kind of what I had with that, is that every day from 2020, I knew that, and I couldn't show her that. I could not show her that because she would get really annoyed about me. Worrying. She'd get really annoyed about me saying, oh, how were the results? She'd just be like, just don't worry, we'll know when we know.
Yeah.
And that was so her attitude. It was really commendable because she was the strongest woman in the world. She really was. She never let anything faze her. You know, even when it came to, it all happened we were blessed because she seemed pretty well all the way up to, I mean, her mobility went in the last year and stuff, fluid went to her legs.
Yeah.
And that was hard to see, but she never let it bother her. But those last 5 days, she complained of a headache, went into hospital. 5 days later, she was gone.
Yeah.
So that all happened really quickly. But even, I'll never forget it, we were in that room in the hospital. My dad had been staying with her in the hospital, and he had gone home. So he was doing the overnight, so I came in during the days. He had gone home to go and get some sleep and clothes. And then the doctor came in. And it wasn't her usual oncologist. Her usual oncologist, who was called Mark, by the way.
Right.
Mark Harrison, he was the most amazing oncologist. He was fantastic. Really great guy. So personable. He became like a family friend because obviously she had it for so long. He was away on holiday typically when this happened, and this other doctor came in, and the way he just delivered the news was so to the point. And he was like, so what's happened is the cancer's gone around the fluid in the brain, and there's nothing we can do anymore.
Right.
And my mum and I, my mum was in the bed, pretty tired, pretty weak, and I was sat on the chair by the window. I'm not going to cry on the first episode. And he and we went,
human.
No, we need a water in a minute. I said, we just looked at each other, and in her proper way, she went, oh. And I went, oh. And I went, you all right? And she went, yeah, you. And it was just like the most like normal, as if we'd just been told, oh, sorry, your plane's just been cancelled or something. It was just like, yeah, you. I went, yeah. And we just kind of went to normal. And that was when we'd just been told that was it. But actually, that was the thing I'd been dreading for 3 years.
Yeah.
3 years. And it was always, I'm this like, but there's loads more chemos to get through. There's loads more things that we can do.
Yeah.
But those words actually, when it actually push came to shove, it was kind of, well, that's it. You know, that's it. We don't have to fight anymore. That's it.
Yeah, you don't have to wait for that anymore.
No, but I mean, we did think we were going to have weeks and months left. That's what they told us. Interestingly, she said to us, I'll be gone tomorrow. I'm gone tomorrow.
Right.
She said, I've already gone. That's what she kept telling us. It's all on video and stuff. The stuff, because I did this thing where I had like I'm going to need another drink in a minute. But I did this thing where I basically said, let's do an hour chat. And I didn't say it to her, but I basically filmed, we're holding hands. And we're just talking. She didn't know I was doing it. And it's lovely, lovely chats. And she said some amazing things. I'm so glad I got it because it's really helped. But she told us in no uncertain times that she's already gone.
Right.
She wasn't particularly religious or anything like that. But she said, I'm already gone. I said, what do you want about, Mum? No, I was going to the doctor. Is she on any medication? They're like, no. She's like, no, I've gone. You think you're not listening to me. I'm not here anymore. And I just thought it was really weird. And they're like, she's got weeks or months left. We're planning to get her back home. Right. The next day she was going home. No, the next day she died. So it was just weird in hindsight.
Yeah.
She knew something was up. But anyway, that's enough about that. Can we get a drink, please? Sure, around it.
Yeah, I'll grab them, shall I?
Thank you, mate. And listen, whilst you do that, I do want to talk about and take a moment to talk about something that doesn't really get mentioned enough when we talk about grief, the practical stuff. Because as you may be finding out already, when a loved one dies, it's not just the emotional loss. There's suddenly paperwork, there's phone calls, there's forms, accounts, decisions, and often at a time when you're, as we just were talking about, barely functioning at all. And I think a lot of people feel ashamed admitting how overwhelming that can be. Like, you're meant to just, people say you're just meant to get on with it, aren't you? You're just meant to deal with it and move on. So when I was creating this podcast, it was really important to me that our partner wasn't just there to be there. They're there to help. So there was no doubt in my mind that this podcast should be in partnership with the estate registry, who exist for exactly that bit of the journey. They support people through the practical realities that follow loss, things like death notification, probate support, and something I didn't even know had a name until recently, digital legacy planning. Who knew that was a thing? Because our lives are online now, aren't they? So essentially, accounts, subscriptions, photos, memories, and someone has to deal with all of that. I had to do it when my mum died. But what I really liked when I spoke to the team is that they don't pretend grief is neat or linear or something you deal with once and move on from. Howard Enders, their chief operating officer, put it really well, actually. He said grief doesn't begin and end with paperwork, and it certainly doesn't follow a timeline. They see every day how loss hits emotionally and practically at the same time, usually when people feel least equipped to cope as well. And that's why this partnership kind of felt right for Keep It Grief, because this isn't about fixing grief. It's about being supported through it emotionally and practically, without judgment, without pressure, and without being made to feel like you're doing it wrong. The estate registry offers services like Legacy Now, Notify Now, and Inherit Now, all designed to take some of the weight off your shoulders when your shoulders are already definitely carrying enough. You don't have to use everything, you don't have to do it all at once, and you don't have to be in a crisis to ask for help. Support through grief should be accessible, compassionate, and part of everyday life, not something you only reach for when you're at breaking point. So listen, we'll share more as the series go on, but for now, just know this. If the practical side of loss is feeling or has ever felt too much, you're not weak and you're not alone. If you want to find out more in your own time, of course, you can head to estate-registry.com. But yeah, we're really proud to have the estate registry alongside us for this brand new journey. You timed that to perfection, by the way. That was unbelievable.
That's me.
That was unbelievable. Well, cheers for that, mate. Now I've got we're going to be weeing for days with this. For those that are not watching on camera, Neil's just brought another pint of Coke, so we've got 1.5 to get through. To be honest, grief is quite thirsty work, isn't it? It's
indeed.
It stops me from tearing up as well. But
what you were saying about my job, I mean, you're Jonny Neil, radio presenter.
Everyone's just gone, who?
How do you do that when your mum's,
Yeah, it was a weird one. I remember, because obviously, like I say, it happened really quickly, and I was due to be on the radio the next week and on the breakfast show, and I insisted. I was like, I'm going to be there. I'll do it. It's fine. I'll be on the radio. Because in your head, like for me, I was speaking to Lawrence, actually, our producer, and he was saying how like he fills the time if he needs to fill the time, and I'm exactly the same. I feel like I don't want to sit still, and that's because I think when Mum was essentially dying, when it was all going, oh, someone's just falling down in the pub. When we knew at stage 4, I had to be busy the whole time.
Yeah, but
and
that time must have been even harder in a way.
Because you were having to carry on with everyday life, but in the back every night I'd go home. I kid you not, I forgot I even did this until you just broke up. I prayed every night that there'd be some miracle that would come along, and that the medication that she was on would just work for as long as possible.
Yeah,
you hear the stats and you think, my mum is not going to be that stat. She's going to break that stat.
Yeah, of course. I think everyone who goes through that cancer
100%.
journey, right?
And you get, it's such a, my wife said it perfectly. She used to say that to my mum, it's a roller coaster that we're on though. We're going to have highs and lows. And my mum loved that analogy. She thought it was brilliant. And it was a roller coaster. Because you'd have times, it was like every 3-month chunks, and you'd have this time where they'd go, at one point we had no evidence of disease, which is the best that you can ever get to. Yeah. And, we went out for dinner and we celebrated, and you have to have those moments. I think you really have to have those moments where you celebrate the good news.
Yeah.
But then the next one will go and they'll be like, it's moved to your spine or whatever. And you're like, oh my gosh.
That's
but you'd hold your breath.
Disease, isn't it? It's just that.
It was an awful way to live.
Gives you hope and then takes it away.
It was an awful way to live, and I think it really damaged me. Yeah. But I think I had to be I'm an only child, so I had to be the one that, I didn't want my mum and dad to carry that.
Yeah.
I'm good. But I didn't want them to carry that. But yeah, I think going back to what you're saying about being on radio.
Together.
I know, Jesus. I'm not even a crier much. But I think, pause for a drink. Can we get another one? Can we get vodka in this one, please? I do think that, I do think, going back to what you said about the radio and stuff, it's weird, especially the nature of the station that I'm on and was on at the time. The slogan is a very well known one called Turn Up the Feel Good. Which is turning up the feel good when you've just lost, your best man life.
Turn up the feel good.
Well, I just think that if that motto could have been for anyone, it was my mum, because it is exactly what she did for everyone. And I think, in fairness, she passed it on to me.
Similar to me, you do it for her, right?
For her, yeah.
She wouldn't want you to stop doing it.
Neil, she said to me, you have to carry on. And I couldn't have those conversations with her.
I obviously never got to have that conversation with Lottie, but I'm pretty sure, she would want me to carry on.
She'd say the same. Yeah. And that's the thing, my mum was so crystal clear with that. And that was her biggest worry, was what's going to happen to me. She thought I think a part of her thought that I'd collapse. I remember she was speaking to my auntie at the end saying, do you reckon he'll be all right? And my auntie was like, he will be fine.
Yeah, because this is the thing, like, Lottie she was my number one fan. Like, even when she was in hospital or not having a great time, I was always her priority, how I was. Oh, you all right? I worry that this is too much for you, and all of that, all the time. That's the sort of person she was. So, she would want me to be okay. I'm not. But that's what she'd want.
But you're doing really, like, she'd be so proud of you. She'd be so proud of you, mate. But I think that's the thing, is when you lose your biggest cheerleader, which my mum was,
and
what Lottie was for you.
Yeah.
That's a hard thing, man.
And I searched my whole life. The only other person that's come close is obviously my parents. My mum and dad are great, but she was the one person. She just knew me, man, better than anyone's ever known me, and she got me 100%.
And I think it leaves a massive gap, doesn't it?
It's you can't replace stuff like that. You just can't.
That's the dilemma I felt when my mum died. Well, firstly, it was like, we didn't know how long she was going to live for, obviously. They were saying weeks and stuff, and I was like, well, I need to pull out. I had a gig at the Manchester Arena. It was for this big 90s concert.
Turn up the field.
No, it wasn't to do with that. It wasn't to do with Heart, actually. It was completely different. It was called 90s Baby. Yeah. And I didn't know if I was even going to be able to do it. And like you say, then suddenly she passed away, which I think she did me a favour, really, because she's like, you've got to go and do that concert. And she knew if she was still here that I would have pulled out of it. Yeah. And it was a massive deal. Like, it was sold out, Manchester Arena. It was brilliant. And she couldn't make it the year before because she was feeling a bit too unwell.
Right, yeah.
And the plan was this year she was going to come, but obviously she was bit inconsiderate and decided to go and die.
Yeah.
I was like, well, am I going to do it? And it just so transpired that the concert was the day before the funeral.
Yeah.
So I had to go out in front of these tens of thousands of people and do this gig for 8-9 hours.
Yeah.
And have that in my heart that she wasn't there.
Yeah.
And that was a tough one. All my family, bless them, came along, and they were great. My dad was there, and it was brilliant. But
making me look back. You keep crying, and
I'm not crying. It's just got a lot of this pub needs cleaning up. Honestly,
you're going to make it look like I'm heartless now.
I didn't even know I was going to cry.
I had
today.
a good weep the other day. If anyone's
can you do it on
interested.
here next week so we even it up a bit? Can we have a crying score, Lawrence, so we can see who does it each week, please? Yeah, 3-3. Yeah, fine. Yeah, we'll do that. 3-0 to me. But yeah, no. Anyway, so the point is that I was like, I've got to do it, and I had this moment talking back to what we said about signs. This was not part of the script at all, and there was a DJ called Nick Coulson, great guy. He'll be thrilled that he's got a shout out on this. I was not expecting to do that. But Nick was DJing, and we had this song. You're right there. You're right there with the drink. I thought you just coughed into your drink. He, DJ Sammy Heaven, that was good, that last bit. DJ Sammy Heaven came on, was on his playlist. And I said to Nick, mate, we've got to play that. One, it's a banger. Two, I was like, I want to do something. He knew he was on that journey with.
I listened to that on the way actually, but the Brian Adams version.
That's great. The Brian Adams version is great. But the DJ Sammy one was more fitted to the 90s baby.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, look, I can't. And it'd be interesting to see if people that listen to this, some of them, especially if they're on my Instagram, would have been there for the gig. And I kind of said to him, look, we can't make this about mum, but I want it to be a little nod to her. This moment, because I could kind of feel her, and I just wanted to do it. So I asked everyone. And I've got a video of it on my Instagram somewhere. So do go and have a look, scroll through, you'll find it somewhere. With the lights on the camera.
Nice,
and I just said, I want you to party harder than you've ever partied hard before. I've said it better than I've just said it now. I've had a non-alcoholic Coke. Party harder than you ever have before for those that you wish could be here with you tonight.
Nice.
And I've never felt energy like it. I promise you, it was the most beautiful thing.
Yeah, no.
Every single light came up in that room.
Stuff like that's important. Like when they're at weddings, you know, when they do I mean, it's not my family, but when they do let's raise a toast to all those people that aren't here. I still do it.
Yeah,
you know,
100%. And I think that's the thing, is that those moments.
So I get to do that quite regularly, which is quite nice.
You get a nod, don't you? And but that's all part of it, that you're carrying Lottie with you through life.
Yeah.
And in that moment, I felt like my mum was on stage. It was amazing. And, you know, I mean, we want to turn this podcast into a community. That's the thing, isn't it? Like, we're talking about this here, about, like what I'm saying about at that arena where everyone, I think it was at that moment really that it clicked for me that everyone's going through their journey.
Yeah, of course. You're very lucky if you get through life without grieving, which is the one good thing, and it's the only good thing from Lottie's premature passing, is that she didn't have to grieve anybody.
Yeah.
Because that would have destroyed her. She was a real family person. Yeah, she lived for everyone else, so that's the one thing.
That's a really, really different take to I've ever heard before, mate, and that is a really nice thing. I mean,
but that's the only good thing. Yeah. Don't get me wrong.
Other than the podcast, we're now here. But no, I joke about that. But actually, and we've got it. I think there are parts of life, and that's what I was saying to people here. Like, there are humour when you even don't want it to be humour. When my dad said to me about this, he said, "I just want to say your mum would be really proud about Keep It Grief, what you're doing here." Because obviously it was inspired by her, and it was she helped everyone in life. Everyone came to her for advice, for help, everything.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do something that could replicate that. Not that I want people to come to us for advice, because we're not here to give advice and guidance. I mean, look at us. We're drinking pints in the pub. But I hope it can help people, and that's exactly what she did in life. So that's the testament. But I think building a community is the best thing you can do so that people don't feel they're alone, and you can always get in touch. Always. Our inboxes are always open. You can DM us, but if you want to email us, it's hello@keepitgrief.com. Wherever you're listening, please do follow. please do subscribe and help create this incredible group of people who shouldn't be here at all. It's the club that no one wants to be a part of. But
like I say, you were lucky to get through life without joining it at some point. But yeah, obviously the club that I'm in as well, that's it's quite niche and it's not a nice one.
It is a niche club, but do you know what? I hope that we can just make it that little bit better for people. And you know, I'm, as weird as this sounds, mate, I am really looking forward to every week sitting with you and going through this together.
Yeah, well, like I said, when you asked me to do it, I wasn't 100%.
Rude. Had some better offers, did you?
but part of it is, I get the chance to talk about Lottie every week.
Yeah.
And that's
and
one of my
with me as well.
biggest fears. Yeah,
thanks, mate. Yeah.
One of my biggest fears is that she sort of becomes a part of my past, and that's it. And I don't want that.
I get that. Yeah.
So if I can keep her present, which I do, I talk to her every day anyway. Yeah. But if I can keep her present, then that's what I want to do.
Well, that leads me then, before we go, if there is anyone, Neil, going through this right now, whether it's my type of grief, your type of grief's a massive thing. It doesn't have to be that you've lost someone. It could be that you're going through a divorce. It could be that you've lost your identity along the road.
Yeah, but those ones aren't as good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll subcategorise those.
There's a hierarchy.
We'll save those for when it gets desperate.
There is a hierarchy. Come on.
Yeah, all right. But if you're doing those other things as well, you are still welcome. But what would be what would be your one piece of advice that would help others, you know, make it through this week to our next podcast next week? Full of advice. That's why I said earlier, don't come to us for advice. What's going to help you through next week?
I would just say, just feel it all. Just do what you need to do. If don't try and pretend that everything's fine, because it's not. You know, and that's important.
It's okay. I think I
think a lot of people sort of not force you, but sort of try and tell you that you can grieve, but only like for a little bit, and then you've got to be all right again.
Yeah.
And it's just not. It's not. That's not how life works. So just feel it. You get through it somehow. I don't know how, but you will.
Well, that's a good way to end it. It's okay to be not okay.
Sorry.
No, it's great, mate. And you can have more of that quality in the science next week.
This is what I mean. Although you said there is humour in that.
Yeah.
It's not all humour.
No, it's not all humour.
Dark thing.
Of course. I mean, it's not all humour, but I think, and that's where we that's why I thought you're brilliant, because we have different views in it. I think it's nice to try and find a humour, and hopefully...
Yeah, I get that, yeah.
Hopefully each week we'll bring a bit of that, we'll help people through. We want to make it about you, as I say, so hello@keepitgrief.com.
I think that was... Sorry,
no, go on.
Are you ending it?
No, yeah, I was, but go on. I don't want it to end either. You carry on, mate. He's here all week.
That was one of my fears, is that I didn't want what has happened with Lottie to become not a joke, but...
Yeah, no, you didn't want to trivialise it.
Yeah, that's what I see in a lot of other spaces. And for me, there aren't really any positives.
No. Well, I can tell you, mate, I think it would be the worst joke in the world. And on that note, I think if you've genuinely made it this far, well done to you, because I don't know how, but we will see you next week. Each week we're going to bring something fun, aren't we, and different, but
We'll try.
We'll try, we'll do our best. We don't know what it's going to be yet, but we've got a lot of fun people coming your way. Cheers, mate.
Cheers. Good on you.
Good on you.